Good afternoon, fans. Welcome to the LB Gym. The Palace, affectionately known as the Pit. I'm Bill Gibson, privileged to be here on my perch for men's volleyball action. UNBSJ in town to take on Post St. Thomas Tommies. It is Think Pink Day here at the LB Gym. Late starting this men's match is thrilling. 5-setter, Tommy women victorious over UNBSJ. Came from 2 sets down and needed some extra points in set 5 to take the victory. I think it ended up 17-15 in set number 5. These teams have played yesterday. It's a Tommy straight set victory. 27-25, 25-22, and 25-17. Tommy's out hitting the Seawolves. 2-4-7 to 1-1-7. Tommy's 4-4-8 in the set number 3. SJ actually had one more kill than Stu, 3 more attacks, but block errors a big difference. Pardon me, attack errors, big difference. SJ 12 more, 24-12. Starters for the Seawolves. 1, Jackson Ramier. 4, Adam Gauthier. 6, Gabe Powell. 7, William Ziefker. 9, Jacob Hausman. 10 is Craig Bartlett. And in the Libero jersey is Ben Fika, number 5. Starting for the Tommies, number 6, Raf Fassé. Number 9, Brenton Romanchuk. Had a big match yesterday. I'll tell you about that. 11 is Mason Brewster. 13, Kawana Snow starts in the middle. 14, Nate Beaton. And number 20, Sebi Villeneuve. In the Libero jersey is number 1, Braden Bruce. Tommy's in the green today. Bruce in the Libero gold. SJ in the white road jerseys. And Libero Benfica in the black. We are just about set to go here. A couple changes for the Tommy starters for this one. It was Levine and Noonan in the starting lineup yesterday for the Tommies. Snow and Beaton, as well as Villeneuve draw in. And Kevin Douglas also was a starter yesterday. So 3 changes to the starting lineup for the Tommies in the second of the back-to-back. In that match yesterday, Gauthier, 11 kills on 25 attacks, 6 errors, 1 service ace, 12 points. Ziefker, 8 kills and 8 points. Tommy's, it was Romanchuk, 12 kills, 27 attacks, 2 errors, 370, a block of 6 for 12.5. Levine, 5 kills, 2 service aces, 8 solo blocks, 11 points. And the man serving right in there, Brewster, 8 kills, 9.5 points, and Braden Bruce, 13 digs. First point goes to Gauthier of the Seawolves. Gauthier, 112 kills, make it 113. He's 3rd in kills overall, 4th in kills per set at 3.39 rather. There's Romanchuk. That one off a block out of play, 1-1. Here's Raf Fassé. Fassé suddenly in his 4th year out of Calgary. Outstanding student athlete is Fassé. All-star last season in the conference. Tommy's there for the block, Beaton and Snow. Kawana Snow out of New Zealand. Thanks for tuning in if you're watching from New Zealand. I think that would make it, I think it's about 12 or 13 hour difference, something like that, depending on the part. So it's the middle of the night there, early Monday morning. Love you for tuning in if you're watching at that time. And very happy to have you. At 2-2, here's Gauthier. that one. Service ace just catches the line. Goche again at 3-2 Seawolves. That one played up by Beaton. Romanchuk on the attack again. Another big swing. Seawolves were there. Set up, blocked was Siefker. Again for Romanchuk, another big swing. Blocked, out of play. That was Bartlett. I think the blocker that time. Third year middle of Halifax. Beaton on the serve. Played up by Goche, backs at Ramier. Houseman with a kill. Three Seawolves for Craig Bartlett. 4 service aces coming into the match. Pretty good attack percentage at 3-2-4. Backs at Romanchuk. Blocked at the net by Gabe Powell. Great reaction from Powell. 5-3 Seawolves. Bounces for Bartlett. Villeneuve, big swing. Gets it down in front of Goche. Sevi Villeneuve, first year out of Bedford. There is snow. Benfica got that one. Houseman played up, Beaton. Fassé, Villeneuve, cross court, it's in. Five, it's Snow to serve. Boomer ace from Kiwanis Snow. Siefker ducked it. Six-5 Tommies. Snow, a little change of pace action that time. Siefker blocked but out of play. 6-6. Houseman on the serve. And Mason Brewster, who leads the league in hitting percentage, cleans that one up. And it's 7-6 or 6-7 if you're among the younger crew. It's actually 7 serving 6 here for Romanchuk. Good hustle free from the Seawolves. Bruce. Fassé. Brewster again. That time Houseman was there at the net. Don't think that was touched by the Tommies. I think Siefker just in to the net. 8-6 for Romanchuk. Serve from Romanchuk. Siefker again down the line. Romanchuk is there. Ramier on the set. Back row, Houseman, Romanchuk. At the net, Romanchuk's pass just a little too long for Fassé. Braden Bruce can't track it down. Point Seawolves. 8-7 Tommies for Siefker. William Siefker. Outstanding first name, I will say. Couldn't pick a better one myself. Oh, blocked at the net. And almost kept alive. 2 hits for the Tommies. That was Mason Brewster. Didn't see the blocker for SJ. 8-8. Siefker again. That one's a net serve, 9-8 STU. For Villeneuve. Gauthier on the attack. Villeneuve got that one. Now beaten. Gauthier. Ramier, back row. Siefker. Up by Fassé. Bruce for Beaton. Houseman is there. Ramier went on the attack. Set up in the middle. Brewster, big swing. Great get, Benfica. Brewster makes no mistake of that one. Really good rally. Villeneuve. Back row Houseman played up. And that's Brewster again, picks the back corner. Oh, that one was in by a lot. Wow. That looked to be in by like a good foot to me from up here. Line judge reacting to get out of the way of that one. I was pretty sure that was in from Brewster. 10-9, doesn't matter what I think. Point goes to the Seawolves. Well, I might have to go back and watch again just to see if my eyes are all right. Raph Fassé loads up to clean that one up for the Tommies. (11-9) STU. Fassé again on the attack. Played up by Ramier. Benfica for Gauthier. Gauthier blocked but out of play. Point Seawolves. Here is Ramier to serve. Ramier, first year out of Leo Hayes High School, Fredericton's north side. The best side of the river, if you ask my opinion. Service ace, 11-11. That one played by Villeneuve. Juana Snow. Seawolves somehow keep that alive. And that's going to be called a carry. (12-11) for Fassé. Houseman, big swing. Villeneuve got a piece. Fassé tracked it down. It'll be free from Bruce. Benfica. Houseman again. There's Bruce. Beaten. And that's going to be off the antenna. Point for the Seawolves. Gauthier back to serve. Played up by Bruce. Fassé. Back set, Beaten off the hand of Benfica. Point Tommies. Here's Nate Beaten back to serve. Beaten also out of Fredericton, third-year player. Houseman, big swing. Fassé is there. Bruce for Romanchuk. Romanchuk played by Gauthier. Ramier for Siefker, blocked. Powell keeps it alive. Siefker again. That one not touched and out of play. Tommy point. Beaten again. Benfica, Ramier, Houseman. Just wind up that time for Jacob. ACAA Athlete of the Week very recently. I believe was Houseman. I had that in my notes yesterday and don't see it there today. Questioning my memory. Quanah Snow on the attack. Siefker. Now here's Villeneuve blocked. Played up by Beaton. Fasse, Romanchuk. Sends that one just long, well read by Gauthier. 14-14. Beaton, Fasse, there's Quanah Snow with a finish out of the middle. Snow, big serve. Houseman on the attack up for Fasse. There's Romanchuk blocked at the net by Gabe Powell. Block point there for Powell. (15-15) Houseman. Beaton, Fasse, Villeneuve. Benfica, Ramier tried the sneak, didn't get it over the net. Here's Romanchuk. Service just long from Romanchuk. This is the last action for both teams until mid-January. Both teams open on the road and then are at home the weekend of January 24th, 25th. Yes, that's a full 2 months away before we'll see the Tommies back here on home court. Let's hope I don't forget who everyone is in that time frame. Here's Villeneuve on to serve. Swing from Powell. Fasse, Villeneuve, Beaton. Benfica. Played up by Powell. Gauthier on the tip. Beaton is there. Fasse, Brewster blocked out of the middle. Oh, nice get from Fasse, but he got a little too much on it. And it got the speaker hanging over the net at center court. (17-17). Serve wide from Powell, 18-17 Tommies. Neither team able to really get much of an advantage here throughout this first set. Brewster, Benfica, Ramier, and Gauthier. Gauthier off of Brewster, 18-18. Fasse goes on the attack, gets it out off a Seawolf player, and point Tommies, 19-18. Fasse on to serve. Fasse fifth in the conference in service aces per set. As that one find the tape, and it's 19-19. Sorry, Ralph, that's on me. That's the old announcer's jinx. Alive and well. Gauthier out of Regina. On to serve. off of Braden Bruce. And into the upper deck, 2019. And it's timeout. Tommies. Going in today, the Tommies hitting .326. That's good for second. I believe St. Anne crept ahead of them after yesterday. SJ 2-3-2 for fourth. Tommies first in kills per set at 12.45. SJ third at 11.73. Tommies 8-1 entering today, in first place by percentage points. 8-8-9. St. Anne 8-2. Tied with 8 wins, and the Seawolves among 3 teams with 4 victories. Seawolves 4-5, Holland 4-5, Crandall 4-6. Seawolves Holland tied in that third position with 4.44 win percentage. And the Dow Rams have yet to get on the positive side of the ledger this season. Sit at the base of the conference. Tipped by Beaton. Into the net, kept alive, free ball. Romanchuk. And that's back set for Beaton. Who loads up all the spicy mustard on that one. Big hit from Nate Beaton. 20-20, that's the point the Tommies needed out of the timeout. And there's Beaton in play. Goche, Ramier. That one was off the block, kept up for the Tommies. Romanchuk. Played by Goche. And now Ziefker on the attack, big swing. 21-20. It's going to send Craig Bartlett back to serve. That serve just barely sneaks over. Sebi Villeneuve just long. 22-20 UNBSJ. Villeneuve that time blocked. Bruce played it. Fassé for Villeneuve, off a block. Seawolves Ramier keeps it alive. Goche for Houseman. Houseman, miss hit into the net. That was a big point for the Tommies. And we'll send Kawana Snow back to serve. If you notice with Snow back serving, the red padding on the back wall, covered in paper, that is in relation to Think Pink Day here. They are I Play For, and I'm here supporting messages. In relation to Think Pink, Chalmers Hospital Foundation, and I believe cancer awareness as well. Love that the Tommies across sports do that fundraiser. Tommies get that point, 22-22. And Kawana Snow. Big serve, that one tape shot. And into nothingness for the Seawolves. Tough there, timeout. Coach K. And the Seawolves. Tommies now in front, 23-22. Little discussion there with William Siefker. Two men here looking to cap off a banner weekend of Tommy athletics. Women's hockey team split. They lost on Friday night, rebounded for a win yesterday. Men's and women's basketball picked up wins at Holland yesterday. Tommy's volleyball with a win here over the Seawolves. And maybe the match of the weekend, Tommy's women's volleyball. It might be the match we see here of the season in 5 sets over nationally 12th ranked and conference leading Seawolves. What a match that was. Pretty successful weekend for Team Tommy and their fans. Pushed over Houseman, point. Seawolves 23-23. Houseman played up by Villeneuve. Fissé. Brewster. Set point here, STU. Seawolves need this set. Need this point to keep the set alive. And it'll be Brenton Romanchuk. On the service line is Romanchuk. Errors have been somewhat of an Achilles heel for the Tommies this season. A few more than they like. There's one there on set point. So we're headed extra points here in the first set. Siefker. Beaton played that. Mason Brewster off block. Another point, Tommies. So it's another set point for STU and Sebi Villeneuve. Goche, big swing. Tied at 25. Gabe Powell back to serve. Powell, second year out of Rosse. Very much school in the hometown. Not very far between Ross today and the SJ campus. Beaten the swing, but that's off the antenna. So now it's a set point, Seawolves. Powell again to serve. Beaton, Fissé, Brewster, off a block. Set up for Goche for the tip. Set one to the Seawolves, 27-25. I'll fire up the telephone here, get you stats from that set. Take me a minute or two to get there. Reception up here in the metal rafters isn't quite as good as I'd like. Here we go. We're actually at men's volleyball now. And let's see. Let's set summary. The Seawolves, 10 kills, 5 errors, 37 attacks for a 1-3-5. The Tommies, 15 kills, 10 errors, 43 attacks, a 1-1-6. So a lot of errors there for STU. Assists 15-10 favor the Tommies. Service aces 3-2 SJ. Service errors 4-3. The Tommies having more. Tommies 20 digs to 15 for the Seawolves. Total blocks 4-1 SJ. And they are all solo blocks. Individual stats, it's Goche, 5 kills, a 400 percentage, 4 digs and 2 service aces for the Seawolves. Hussman with 3 kills. Siefker 2. 9 assists for Ramier. For the Tommies, Brewster 4 kills, 2 errors, a 200. Sebi Villeneuve 3 kills, Raph Fissé 2. Brenton Romanchuk 2. Kwana Snow 2, Nate Beaton 2. A A lot of not real good attack percentages there for the Tommies. And several zeros up there. 13 assists for Say. 1 service ace each, Snow and Beaton. 6 digs, Roman Chuck. And blocks for Snow and Beaton. Set to go for set number 2. Don't see any changes for the Tommies or the Seawolves were in play. And Tommies send that one off the touch out of play. Points Stu. Here's Brewster. Played up by Gauthier, Ramier, Houseman goes short, and that one is another point for the Seawolves. 1-1. Here is Gauthier. Beaton. Siefker. The back row, Villeneuve, wide. 2-1 Seawolves. Gauthier. Net, it drops in front of Villeneuve. Tough break, Tommies, those net serves. Let's sneak over. Hard to react to. Gauthier again. Just along that time. Big swing, Benfica, Ramier. Out of the middle was Bartlett. Bruce keeps it alive. Snow tried to tip it over. Back set for Romanchuk. Siefker was there. Double hit on the Seawolf side. Three for Fassé again. Big swing from Fassé. Houseman tried to tip it over. Oh, nice from Benfica. That's set up for Beaton. Ramier, Gauthier. Tommies keep that one up. Beaton again, that one off a block. Point Stu. Three Tommies for Fassé. Tough block. Beaten there with Kawana Snow. Fassé with the ace. Picked that corner. Six-three Stu. Another big serve from Fassé. 7-3 STU. Here's Fasse again. Oh, Kawana Snow, aided by the net that time. Timeout, Seawolves at 8-3. Set 2. Nice break there for the Tommies. Fasse, 2 service aces. Brewster now up to 4 kills. A pile of Tommies with 3. Fasse, Snow, Beaton, and Villeneuve. 5 kills for Gauthier, 4 for Houseman for the Seawolves. Both teams will want this one. Of course, they want every one, but particularly this one, you don't want to go into the break. And that is better part of a 2-month break to on a loss. You'd much rather go in on a win. Feeling confident. Fasse, another big serve. That one hammered home. And that's Bartlett who gets that kill. On the serve, Bruce Fasse. And Kawana Snow off a Seawolf point Tommies. Nate Beaton to serve for Stu. Oh, what a swing there from Gabe Powell. Beaton's pass drifted too long. Tommies keep it back alive. Free from Bruce. Ramier picks a target. It is Siefker. Bruce on the dive. Sebi Villeneuve tips it over. Ramier that time Houseman. Good dive, Fasse. Free from Villeneuve. Houseman. And trying the sneak. Doesn't work. Villeneuve now on the attack. Tommy's going every which way but loose that time. Can't track that ball down. Villeneuve under the net. I think it was Kawana Snow going around the post. Great effort. But it's a point. Seawolves 10-6 STU for Siefker. Brewster blocked but kept up by Stu. Villeneuve tries the tip. Houseman. Now Gauthier, big swing. Fasse was there. Villeneuve punches that one through. Do what I would call, I guess, a power set from Villeneuve. Just punched that one two-handed down. Romanchuk, nice low serve. And that one sent flying with no touch from Gabe Powell. 12-6 STU, set 2. Romanchuk, Benfica. Siefker, nope, that's Gauthier, not Siefker. .7 for Powell. Beaten Fassé, Villeneuve. Oh, nearly in the basketball goal off of Gabe Powell. Seen that once or twice here in my time covering Tommy volleyball. A little deflection into the side basketball goal. Tell you, those side goals been hanging there a long time. Oh, that one sneaks over. Houseman, the beneficiary. Brewster did get one touch on it, and Beaton tried for the second. .13-8, Ramier with the service ace. That one just wide. Say that line judge in that corner has had to have some quick feet and quick eyes. There's been a lot headed to that area in this match. Free ball. And Kiwanis Snow. A little too strong for John Benfica that time. Brewster, Ramier. It's going to be a Tommy point. And 16-9 timeout, Seawolves. Seawolves are up one set. Good to see a number of the Tommy women sticking around to watch their men counterparts here. Timeout will be Brewster serving for STU. Out of the middle, Bartlett with the tip over. 16-10 and Gauthier will go back for service. Fassé. Well read by Fassé. Now Fassé to serve. Oh, big serve. Gauthier got a piece. Benfica with a dive nearly ended up in the hall. Way too strong that time. 18-11 STU for Craig Bartlett. Third year middle out of Halifax. Oh, nice get by Romanchuk. Punched over Siefker. Finds open space. $18-12 for Bartlett again. Kiwanis Snow, big swing. Blocker, Powell, and Houseman, not enough to stop that one. And subbing in for the Tommies, Thomas Blizzard. In for Nate Beaton. And Blizzard will immediately go back to serve. Bruce is there to pick that one up. Villeneuve. Clean kill down the line and deep. Tommy's up 8 at 20-12 here in set 2. They look to even it at a set apiece. Gauthier, Ramier. Big swing there. Ziefker. Substitution. John McKinnon in. McKinnon in will serve. McKinnon is a setter out of York PEI. Heard it if you're watching from the island. McKinnon gives the Tommies a point. And McKinnon will stay in. Looks like Ramier will stay as the setter. Played up Benfica. There's Ramier on the set. Gauthier blocked, but blocked out of bounds. Was Mason Brewster. The net challenge for the Tommies. Ziefker played up and all the way over. Brewster with a touch. Now Villeneuve free ball. Gauthier blocked out of play. Romanchuk, Brewster there. Another point for the Seawolves. Highway 7 rivals of the Tommies. It's about an hour campus to campus by the time you get across the harbor. Lucas Levine in for Stu. Romanchuk will serve. Benfica, Ramier, Gauthier, big swing from Adam Gauthier. And Romanchuk out. Here's Brody Thorogood. First year setter out of Calgary in for the Tommies. At 22-16 here in set 2. And that one is right through the hands of Thomas Blizzard. 22-17. Gabe Powell. Serves again. There's Mason Brewster, set up by Brody Thorogood. Seve Villeneuve to serve, beaten in, Blizzard out. It's off of Gauthier, kept alive Benfica, free to the Tommies. Set up for Beaton that time. Siefker got that, Gauthier, big swing, and no touch, just long. Multiple set points here for STU. They look to even the match at 1 set apiece. Villeneuve goes short and in play. Live off the block. Thorogood for Beaton. Beaton off Benfica. Second set to the Tommies. 25-17. That set the Seawolves, 11 kills, 5 errors, 28 attacks, a .214 percentage. Tommies 14 kills, 1 error, 25 attacks, a .520 attack percentage in the set for the Tommies. That's massive. Overall, Seawolves, 21 kills, 65 attacks, 10 errors, a .169. The Tommies, 29 kills, 68 attacks, 11 errors, a .265. Assists 29-21 STU. Service aces 7-5 SJ. Digs 31-23. Tommies with more. Blocks +1 for the Seawolves. Individual leaders, Gauthier 8 kills, 3 errors, a .294. 3 service aces, 7 digs. For SJ, Siefker 5 kills, Hausman 5 kills, Bartlett 2, Powell 1. 20 assists for Ramier. And for the Tommies, Seve Villeneuve 7 kills, 2 errors, a .333, and 4 digs. Kwana Snow 6 kills, no errors, .750. Big percentage there. Brewster 5 kills, 2 errors, .250. Something just switched there. Kwana Snow 6 kills, no errors. Kasey 4 kills, Brewster 4 kills. I think we had a kill taken away from Brewster and given to Snow, maybe? That's just changed as I was looking at them. Romanchuk 3 kills, Beaton 3 kills. 22 assists for Fasay. 3 service aces for Fasay. Braden Bruce 9 digs. 2 blocks for Nate Beaton. So it's set here for set number 3. Brewster with Villeneuve, Romanchuk, Beaton, Fasay, and Snow. Point will go to the Tommies. Gauthier on the tip, blocked at the net. And called a violation on the Tommies. Snow, another kill. Good match here for Kwana Snow. Hausman, Bartlett, Siefker, Ramier, Gauthier. Looks like no changes for the Seawolves this set. Gauthier, Ramier, played over Houseman. Up by Villeneuve, Fissé on the set. Beaten on the touch. Blocked but kept alive. Free ball from Fissé. Out of the middle. That was Bartlett. Now Romanchuk. Had to really reach for that one. Pass was a little long. Bruce is there. Fissé. And Beaten, big swing wide. No tip. Romanchuk finds some clean space. Nate Beaten. Tommy's up 3-2, third set. Serves. A couple of Seawolves were going for that one. They kept it alive regardless. And that one is wide from Houseman. Bruce, Romanchuk with a tip. Fortuitous play for the Tommies. And double hit called on the Seawolves. (5-2) in set 3. Beaten. Blocked at the net. Seawolves again called for a double hit. That's Bartlett. I think we've got a timeout, Seawolves. We do. Other action, it's Dal Rams and Holland playing in set 4. It is the Holland Hurricanes up 2-1, and the Rams up 6-3 in the 4th. And a massive point-wise, 32-30, set number 2. That's a lot of extra points that Dal Rams won that set. And that's the only other action happening today. Point Seawolves and Bartlett. Will serve. Snow well up in the air for that one. Great get by Ramier, free ball. Romanchuk, cross court and in. Right on the attack line that time from Romanchuk. Good deception there from Ramier. Finds Ziefker for the point.
Houseman up, beaten. Villeneuve, clean kill. Romanchuk, clean ace. Really great to see Brenton Romanchuk really has regained his footing here for the Tommies this year. And back-to-back service aces. Brenton didn't seem to be quite himself last season for a period of time. Sometimes tough, get a little rut. And Brenton feeling pretty confident here. Went hunting for 3 in a row, but it's Houseman. Now Villeneuve. Benfica. Siefker, Houseman. Set for Villeneuve again. Villeneuve blocked at the net. Ramier and Powell that were there. I think Powell gets that one. I'm just off center by about 3 or 4 feet in my broadcast position here. So sometimes those ones at the net on the side the Seawolves are on, really tough to see who gets the hit when there's extra hands up there. Easy to see that one. It is Mason Brewster. Skies high and hammers that home. 11-5 Tommy, Sebi Villeneuve. Serves for STU. That one conveniently served right to the ball person on the far side. Out of play. Not too convenient if you're the Tommies. And it's that time by Nate Beaton. (12-6) Mason Brewster. Seawolves have got the cowbells out on the far side. Gauthier off block, out of play. World can always use a little bit of cowbell. That one sent a little long from Ramier. (13-8) here's Fassé. Nice get by Gauthier, Ramier, Houseman. Bruce is there. Fassé, Romanchuk. Now Gauthier on the attack. Block, but it ends up on the Tommies side. Comes down off the block. 13-9 for Gauthier. Was Gauthier is going to get that kill. Nate Beaton. Romanchuk cleans that up for the Tommies. Beaton. And Ziefker gets it through the Tommy block. Point Seawolves. I think the little tickle in my throat might have finally just cleared up there. Thanks for bearing with me through the last few minutes of play. The lozenge seemed to have worked. Fassé with the tip. Romanchuk punches it over. Ramir Houseman. High set. Villeneuve stuffed at the net. Kept alive. Snow on the attack again. That one wide. It was a quick second jump from Kawana Snow. Snow again. Ziefker blocked with Snow and Romanchuk. Little slippery spot there on the Seawolf side. Couple of them slipped. Right there in the red circle. Let's see. That dries on its own. We're going to have to get a towel out here maybe. Point goes to the Tommies. We don't get the towel out. They must think it's all right. And here is Snow at 16-11 STU, set number 3. Despite the net service, Snow I think is having his best match as a Tommy. There's Brewster with another clean kill in the middle for the Tommies. Romanchuk on the serve. Houseman played up by Beaton. And Villeneuve blocked at the net. 17-13. Ziefker will serve. Mason Brewster with another kill in the middle. Brewster having another all-star campaign for the Tommies through the first half. Gauthier wide. (19-13) timeout Seawolves. After a tight first set that went to the Seawolves, Tommies, I'd say it was a comfortable second set win, but there was a margin there. Now up 6 here in set number 3. Pretty nice day for late November here in the capital city. 3 degrees out. Feels like 0. Take that. No snow on the ground yet. Some rain coming midweek. Look to be around +4, +5 as highs for the week. Things seem to cool off as we hit December though. Looking at the forecast. And I'm sure we'll get our snow soon enough. Happy to live without it for now. That's your weather report. Now back to volleyball. Off the block. Point Seawolves. Gabe Powell unlocked the windmill that time. Now Powell serves. Bruce. That's Thorogood who's checked in for the Tommies on the set. Set up again. Free from Bruce. Goche finds the far side. And Lucas Levine in for STU as well, wearing number 5. I must have been checking the weather when the subs come in. Beaton. Villeneuve. Free from Beaton. Wrong side of the antenna. And here comes Fassé. And Romanchuk quickly back in for Levine and Thorogood. 19-16. Coach Millay says, let's go right back where we were. Fassé for Romanchuk. And Romanchuk blocked but out of play. Was Goche at the net for the Seawolves. 2016 for Mason Brewster. Goche, wow. Sub in for the Seawolves. Our first look this weekend at Jordan Postolovsky. Postolovsky out of North Brookfield. How did I get Battleford out of Brookfield? North Brookfield, Nova Scotia. First year player. Let's go 2-inch left side. And there's Quanah Snow again off a block down on the Seawolves side. The middles for the Tommies, Snow and Brewster. Been massive in this match. And here's Fassé again. Played up Benfica, Ramier. There's Postolovsky. Played that one wide, 22-17. Seawolves looking for a stop right here. And they get it on a net service from Raph Fassé. With a big point for SJ. They have hopes to take this set number 3. Down 4, it's Adam Goche. Fassé give the free ball. Postolovsky again on the attack. And that's Nate Beaton, played up by Goche. Siefker, Fassé, Bruce, Romanchuk. That one is long from Romanchuk. (22-19). Great opportunity there for the Seawolves. Close the gap here. And Goche. Net serve. Beaten out, Thomas Blizzard in, and Blizzard will go back to serve for STU. Blizzard, 4th year outside, right here in Freddie Beach. Blocked, great dive, but it's going to be too many hits. And out of play anyway. Multiple set points for the Tommies, 24-19. And a little perspiration situation. And Adam Gauthier gives us the Icky Shuffle here on a Sunday afternoon. We are dried up. And Blizzard can serve out set number 3 for Stu. Siefker blocked. Romanchuk and Snow were there. Tommies 25-19. Now up 2-1. We're going to set number 4 here on Sunday afternoon. And if I can get back to the right match here, let's just check in on that Dow Holland game. 23-17 now, 4th set for Holland, so they look like going to take that one 3-1. Back to our own match. That set for SJ, 9 kills, 7 errors, 31 attacks, 065. For the Tommies, 12 kills, 6 errors, 33 attacks, a 182. Overall, the Seawolves, 30 kills, 96 attacks, 17 errors, a 135. The Tommies, 38 kills, 98 attacks, 17 errors, a 214. Assists 38-30 for Stu. Service aces 8-7 for the Seawolves. Serve errors 9-8 with the Seawolves having more. Plus 9 digs for Stu. Blocks plus 1 for the Seawolves. Individually, it's Gauthier, 13 kills, 4 errors, 375. 3 service aces and 11 digs for the Seawolves. Siefker, 8 kills. Houseman, 5. 28 assists for Ramier. And for the Tommies, Kwana Snow, 8 kills, no errors, a 667, and a service ace. Sebi Villeneuve, 8 kills. Romanchuk, 7. Brewster, 7, and a 357. Fassé, 4. Beaton, 4. 32 assists, Fassé. 3 service aces, Fassé. And 8 digs for Romanchuk. 7 each Beaton and Fassé. 15 for Bruce. Not sure how that one didn't jump out at me right away. 3 blocks, Kwana Snow. 2 Nate Beaton. Set 4, Seawolves need this set to extend the match. No changes for the Tommies. Snow, Romanchuk, Villeneuve, Beaton, Brewster, and Fassé. And the Seawolves. Ramier will start on serve. Siefker, Houseman, Gauthier. And can't see quite who that is in the front row. I believe it is Gabe Powell. I will wait just a second to confirm that. As soon as Powell moves. Brewster, big swing. Not Gabe Powell, it's Cameron Willis, number 11. First point to the Seawolves. So Willis seeing his first action here of the match in set 4. Romanchuk off a block and in. Point for the Tommies. Here's Brewster. Romanchuk. And Beaton on the swing. Houseman off block, out of play. Point Seawolves. 2-1 SJ. In the back row, Goche a big swing, too much for Braden Bruce. 3-1 SJ. SJ needs this set. You can bet the Tommies want it as well. They don't want to go to a fifth set. And Raf Fassé, captain, over to speak to the first referee, relaying a message from Coach Mallet. Whatever was communicated doesn't change anything up there. Beaten into the net. Off the antenna, one of the two. Another point for the Seawolves, 4-1. We get to 5-1, we might see a timeout. Change this momentum early. Oh, and we're not going to get to 5-1. Almost. Okay into the net, but off the antenna, not okay. Down by 2 at 4-2. Here is Fassé. Make it 5-2. Energy a little bit on the side of the Seawolves, so we start set number 4. Bruce, Fassé, and Beaton goes wide. It's another point, SJ. Beaton, Fassé, Romanchuk gets that one in front of Goche. Tommies needed that one. Nothing out of the middle for Powell. Villeneuve block, Bruce is there. Villeneuve recovers. Romanchuk, big swing again. Ramier is there. High set Houseman blocked by Snow. Goche. Point Stu. Didn't see what the call was there. Play by Beaton. Houseman with the left hand hammers that home. And it'll be Jacob Houseman back to serve. Go to Hampton. Villeneuve looking down line. Out. Now 8-4 SJ. Eight 5. Here's Mason Brewster back in for Braden Bruce. Libero out. Snow on the serve, Houseman on the attack. Beaton gets there, Tommies keep it alive, free from Brewster. Tommies manages to stay in the point, but Siefker gets it in front of Snow. Nine 5, Seawolves up 4 in the fourth. Romanchuk off a block. Goche blocked. I think that's Brewster who gets that one. 9-7 Seawolves. Romanchuk again. Little help from the net. It makes it over. Goche. Fissé set for Villeneuve. Villeneuve. Off the Seawolves. Point Tommies. Now Tommies down 1. They've made up 3 of the 4-point deficit. And here's Romanchuk. Going to give the Tommies a tie here in set 4. Another tape shot again and again over. And we got a double hit. 9-9 now. Will the Seawolves look for a timeout to break some of this Tommy momentum? Let's see how this next point or two goes. Goche all the way over and cleaned up by Mason Brewster. There it is. There's the timeout at Tommy's 10-9. I think that's a 5-in-a-row streak for Stu. I think they were down 4 at 9-5. Romanchuk picks up a ball and start things out here 10-9. Stu now. Big swing from Romanchuk, played by Goche. Ramier tried the sneak. And Mason Brewster lost the footing there. 10-10. Brewster saw it coming just a hair too late. Beaten. There's Brewster, a big swing. Oh, a little confusion there by the Seawolves. They were all expecting the setter Ramier to run underneath that one. Villeneuve. Ramier there for that one. Goche on the tip. Beaten. Fissé. Romanchuk pushes it over. Right out of the middle is Cameron Willis. Fissé on the sneak. Brewster, 12-11. Played up by Benfica. On the attack, Willis out of play. Brewster sends that one wide. 13-12 Tommies. For the Seawolves, Goche. Beaten. The blockers were there to cover that one. Houseman and Willis. I think Houseman will get it. Desai tried to sneak again. Siefker was there. 14-13 UNBSJ. Set 4. Big swing for Snow out of the middle. Seawolves keep that alive. Beaten on the attack now. Siefker on the tip. Romanchuk couldn't get the hand in at 15-13 Seawolves. Desai for Romanchuk. That one in off Ramier. The Tommies have needed a big point. It seems to be Romanchuk getting the call here this afternoon. As I said earlier, great to see Brenton outwardly wearing the confidence. Desai looking to tie it up, goes a hair long on the big serve. 16-14. And here's Cameron Willis. Net serve from Willis. Gives the point right back to Stu. For Nate Beaton. Willis to the bench for the Libero Benfica. Beaton. Siefker. Sebi Villeneuve was there. That one drifted up and right into the waiting hands of Gabe Powell. Sub in, here's McKinnon in again, and McKinnon back to serve at 17-15 Seawolves. Romanchuk off block. Desai with the set. Snow. Tommies with a block there. Another block off the hit of Snow. Free from Braden Bruce. Bruce gets a hand of that one, and it's in behind the Tommies bench. 18-15. Might see a timeout here, maybe. There it is. Tommy's looking to change momentum here in the fourth set. They're up 2-1. They don't want to go to 5. And if I'm being perfectly honest, not that I really have a strong bias as to who I like to see win the match, do have a pot roaster waiting for me at home, so can't say I'd be disappointed if we only went 4 here. This little fall Sunday afternoon roast. Looking forward for that. For a couple hours at least. There's Villeneuve. And Villeneuve again. Nice dive, Gauthier. Played up McKinnon, Siefker. Bruce is there. Romanchuk. Benfica, Ramier. Gauthier, too strong. Strong rally that time, and yeoman work from Braden Bruce. That's Siefker, gets it in front of Nate Beaton. 19-16 Seawolves. Oh, that's a net fault, line fault, yeah. Line judge on that one. Romanchuk, big swing, Benfica. Ramier for Gauthier. Bruce is there. Oh, Fissé keeps it alive, free from Romanchuk. Fissé with the sneak. What hustle from Raf Fissé. Snuck under the net, got that one back to the Tommy side. Free from Romanchuk, and then Fissé with the sneak. Tommy's now down 1 for Romanchuk on the serve. Benfica, Gauthier again. And that one is called in. .2018 for Gabe Powell. Played by Beaton, Fissé, and that one in for Mason Brewster. Gauthier on the attack, blocked by the Tommies, but out of play. .21-19, here's Houseman back in for McKinnon. And Ramier. The serve for the Seawolves. What an afternoon of volleyball this has been between these two schools. Ball to carry. Timeout, Tommies again. Got one more day of action here for Tommy Court Sports. That's going to be the first Saturday in December when the basketballers are home to UNBSJ. They go at UNBSJ next weekend for a game on the Saturday. So if you're in the St. John region and you're a basketball fan, check that one out. The two top men's teams in the conference, at least heading into play today by standings. Another SJ point there. And then they're back home. I think it's the 5th or 6th of December, whatever that Saturday is, for return engagement with SJ. But other than that, that'll do it. This is our last volleyball action until the middle of January, 2 whole months, where we see the volleyballers again. Another point for the Seawolves. And that's going to be 5 set points for UNBSJ. Played up by Bruce for Fassé, Romanchuk. Blocked, but kept alive. Fassé off a block. Siefker, Ramier, Hausman. That one called out off of Tommy, and my pot roast is going to have to wait a little longer. Tied at 2 sets as the Seawolves take that one 25-19. In that set, the Seawolves 12 kills, 4 errors, 29 attacks, a 2.76. That's not right because they're still sitting at 25 points, or 24 points. Let's see. The online stat's not updating quite. So we'll say that's what it was for now, but there's an extra point to come there somewhere. Tommy's 10 kills, 9 errors, 37 attacks, and 0.27. Overall, the Seawolves, 43 kills, 126 attacks, 21 errors, 175. They're out hitting the Tommies, who have 48 kills on 135 attacks with 26 errors for a 163. Tommies +5 in assists, -1 on service aces, -2 on serve errors, +6 on digs, -3 on blocks. Individual stats, Gauthier, 17 kills, 7 errors, 286, 3 service aces, 14 digs. Siefker up to 12 kills and a 321 with 2 blocks. Jacob Hausman has 8 kills. Gabe Powell has 2, but 6 blocks in total. Craig Bartlett, 2 kills. Tommy's led by Romanchuk with 11 kills, 5 errors, 207. Mason Brewster, 10 kills. Villeneuve, 9. Kawana Snow, 8. Snow was quiet in that 4th set, carrying that .533 percentage. 39 assists, Fassé. 3 service aces, Fassé. 18 digs, Bruce. And Kawana Snow, 3 blocks. So the race to 15 just about set for here. Pair of 5 setters, women and men between these schools. Competitive. Snow, Villeneuve, Romanchuk. Fassé, Beaton, and Brewster, along with Braden Bruce. Tommy's no changes in their set. And no changes on the Seawolves side either. Powell out and Benfica in the Libero jersey in. And it'll be the Tommies and someone who's behind a post for me serving. That is Kawana Snow, boomer. Gauthier gets it down on the Tommy side off a block. 1-0 Seawolves. Big swing that time from Ramier. Beaton off block, got to play 1-1. And here is Fisset. Last few rotations around, Fisset's service games kind of left him a little bit. I bet he would love to get that straightened out in time for the Tommies. Get back around to him. Brewster, partially blocked, ends up down on the Seawolf side, 2-2. Race to 15. 15 seems to come awful quick. And a little more perspiration down. And Gauthier does floors. Houseman partially blocked. Roos, Fisset, Romanchuk punches it deep. Played up by Gauthier. Siefker on the tip. Kept up. Now Villeneuve tries the tip. Siefker is there. In the back row, it was Gauthier. And there's Brewster. Gives the Tommies a 3-2 lead here in set 5. And Nate Beaton will go back to serve for STU. Houseman blocked at the net, 4-2 Tommies. You bet neither coach will let the gap get too big before taking a timeout here in set 5. As I said, it gets to 15 awful quick on you. Whoa, big swing, but Fisset was there. Cross court for Romanchuk off block. Romanchuk keeps it alive. Bruce. Now Villeneuve. Played up Benfica. Ramier. Siefker. Beaton got a hand on it. Bruce for Romanchuk. Romanchuk off a Houseman out of play. Point STU. 5-2 Tommies. Here's Beaton. Benfica, Ramier. Back row. Gauthier, that's going to be called a carry. There's the timeout. Seawolves at, I think it's 6-2. STU, that's what's on the board. I think that last point's already gone up. Beaton waved in play by the official. Gauthier, Ramier, Houseman. Cross court. Strong swing by Houseman. Cameron Willis. Romanchuk off the block. Brewster kept it up. There's Bruce Villeneuve. Powell, Ramier, Siefker blocked by the Tommies, but out of play. That's going to be 6-4. Villeneuve, Fissé. Brewster gets it down off a block. Here's Quanah Snow in. 7-4 STU. One more Tommy point, and the teams will switch sides. I'm sure everything is set. At the scores table. Officials just waiting for something to show up there on their screen. Seven four STU, good to go now. And here Mason Brewster whistled into play. Benfica, Ramier, big swing out of the middle. Tommies keep it alive. Called a Tommy point. At 8-4, we'll switch sides. Wasn't entirely sure how that one was going to go. I think it was Snow and Powell who were on the net together in that one. At 8-4, the Tommies +4. Seawolves say, hey, we're still in this. Let's keep her going. Here's Brewster on the serve. For an exciting 5-set match, the gym's gone a little quiet here. You see the Tommies bench have a little more energy to it. Big serve, dive by Benfica. And there's a little energy from the bench and the fans. 9-4 STU. Again from Brewster, Benfica, Ramier. Wow, big swing out of the middle, Gabe Powell. Makes it 9-5. Comes McKinnon in for Houseman. And McKinnon back to serve. This has been the substitution pattern we've seen for the Seawolves for this afternoon. McKinnon, net serve, gives it right over to the Tommies. Romanchuk for Benfica, Ramier. Out of the middle, Powell was blocked. Siefker, good get by Beaton. Braden Bruce, now Sebi Villeneuve. Played up by Gauthier, Ramier. Siefker, blocked by the Tommies. Benfica was there, great dive by Powell. Romanchuk, now Villeneuve, Bruce is there. And that's set up for Romanchuk, big swing. That's going to be too much for Benfica. Point Tommies. At 11-5, timeout Seawolves. Great point there. What a rally. Here is Romanchuk. Service ace from Brenton Romanchuk. What a match Romanchuk's having. Romanchuk, 13 kills, 3 service aces, 10 digs, and 1 total block. Nice cleanup in the middle that time from Powell. Make it 12-7. Maybe that's only 12-6. The point might have been up quickly. It is only 12-6. And they're quick on the scoreboard. Off the net, Beaton is there. Fissé, Villeneuve sends that one too long now, 12-7. High toss, big swing, played by Beaton. Fissé, Romanchuk. Oh, nice keep alive, Gauthier. Off the net, 13-7 Tommies. Reminder, no more volleyball home action for either club until the weekend of January 24th and 25th, 2 months away. ACAA.ca, howlwiththewolves.ca, and gotommies.ca for your respective information. Villeneuve with a net serve gives a point back to the Seawolves. 13-8. Played up by Beaton. Fissé with the sneak. McKinnon was there. Ramier was blocked. Ramier tries a sneak. Bruce. Fissé. There's Romanchuk. McKinnon. Gauthier sends it long. Tommy sitting on 6 match points. And with 1 more point, they can run the record to 9-1 atop the conference. SJ sitting at 8-2. And the Seawolves would fall to 4-6. Holland has moved to 5-5, I believe, with a win this afternoon. Cameron Willis. With a big kill. Comes Houseman back in for McKinnon. And it'll be Jackson Ramier looking to keep the Seawolves alive in this one. High toss, big swing. And it is Mason Brewster who finishes it for the Tommies. 15-9 the Tommies. Takes that 2-3-5 in this match. As I've mentioned, that moves the Tommies to 9-1 atop the conference. And the Seawolves drop to 4-6. That'll do it from first half volleyball action. See you second semester here, the weekend of the 24th, 25th. No volleyball until then. For everybody here at St. Thomas, the always amazing Alice in the producer's chair, I'm Bill Gibson. My privilege here to bring you the action from my perch in the palace called the Pit. A couple weekends away, we've got some men's basketball, women's basketball action as well. And that'll be the court sports for the first half. If you're a volleyball fan, see you second semester. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Have a great week. And happy holidays for all you volleyball folks who I won't see or hear from until next year. See you then.